G'day, Paul from Democast Media, helping you supercharge your workflow with screen capture. So today I'm summarizing week 2 of Articulate's e-learning 101 email course, an introduction to instructional design. If you want to sign up for this and the rest of their 10-week free course, go to the description notes below, click the link, and then sign up right there and you'll get it straight to your inbox. So what is instructional design? So I'm going to relate to you an example that you may have experienced yourself. I've had it a few times at the receiving end and also at the giving end, unfortunately. But your friend convinces you that he wants to teach you how to play a game. It's a board game, and he says it's awesome. You should do it. You're gonna have heaps of fun. And you're like, okay, I'll do this. And so you go, and he brings this giant box, and it might be called Risk or something like Risk, some monstrosity like that. Pulls it open and gets this world map out on the table, and all these pieces start coming out one by one, and your stomach starts to sink, and you're starting to wonder whether you should have agreed to play this. But you give it a chance, and then they start explaining how this game goes, and they go through every detail, like what every little piece does, and on this turn you can do this, but on that turn you can't do that, except if that person does this and then taps that, and then you might be penalized this way and that way. And halfway through their explanation, you've already switched off, and you just want this punishment to be over. You know, okay, fine, conquer me, take over my countries, let's just get this over and done with, and you haven't even started the game. And it's no one's fault, really, because we're not really taught how to teach something. And it sometimes happens in the workplace. You might be a very good salesperson, but when it comes to you becoming the sales manager and running sales training, you're like, how do I do this? I don't even know if I'm doing this the right way. Are they getting something out of this? And so you're just sort of left in the dark wondering, how do I actually teach? How do I train to get a result? And that is the value of instructional design. That's where you inject that to make training meaningful. So in this week's course, in a very generalized way, instructional design is defined as making information clear and engaging. In my own words, that's how I would define it based on their article. Making new information clear and easy to understand for a specific audience, and making it engaging, interesting, so people don't switch off, they pay attention. And your job as an instructional designer is really cutting through all of the irrelevant information and really getting to the core of what's going to make a difference to your audience. So you actually need to follow a process to be able to deliver great training. And so the model that they give you, it's one that's been around for a long time, and there's been additions and changes made to this model. But it's kind of like the marketing 4Ps. It's true, it works. You just need to find a way to apply it in today's workflow. But it's called the ADDIE model, or ADDIE. Each step of that model is kind of like a roadmap that you can follow, which if you complete or achieve the purpose of those steps, then by the end of that roadmap, you will have created and deployed and evaluated training that works. The first one is analyze. And what you want to do in the analysis process before you start creating anything, you want to understand 3 things. Why are we engaging in creating an e-course, an e-learning course? Who is it for, and what do we want them to do as a result of that course? Those are very involved steps, but that forms the analysis part, the why, the who, and the what. And at the end of that step, your deliverable will be a project plan. When you've done the project plan, you know you've done enough detail at the beginning to understand, well, why are we doing this? The next step is D, design. And this is kind of like where you're creating a blueprint now, because you know what your objectives are, who your audience is and what you want them to do. Now you want to start designing your blueprint for your course. Before you start getting onto the tools, you need to know what you're making exactly. So that can include the activities that you're going to use, the assessments, and the way the course is going to look. So by the end of that step, your deliverable, or your output rather, will either be a storyboard, like a visual representation of what your course is going to look like and the experience you're going to deliver there, or a prototype, which is just a simplified version of your course so people understand the gist of what we're going to do, just in a very simplified version. The next step is the development part, and this is the fun part where you start getting your authoring tool, whether that's something from Articulate or my personal favorite, Camtasia, which suits me right now. This is where you actually take your storyboard and you start turning it into reality. Your output will be your finished course, your brainchild, if you will. The next step now is implementation. Once you've got your finished product, you need to actually deploy this onto a platform, whether you put it on a website for people just to click through to using a link, which is an informal way of distributing, or if you need to track learner activity, you will upload this onto an LMS, and there are plenty out there for you to use. So that's the implementation. And the final step is evaluation. This is really where the rubber hits the road now. You're measuring your results against the objectives that you came up with at the start of this whole process. Did your audience, your learners, actually change their behavior? Was there a transformation that took place as a result of them doing your course? Did they learn new knowledge and gain a better understanding of things? Have they changed their behavior? Are they more compliant with safety? Are they selling more things as a result of the techniques that you showed them? Whatever the objectives are, that is really whether we know your e-learning course was successful or not. My question to you is, what learning model do you use when you're creating courses? Do you follow this ADDIE model step by step? Have you modified it in some way? Do you follow another one completely, like SAM, for instance, SAM? Let me know in the comments below. So remember, I am here to remove the stress and confusion from the workplace, one screen capture at a time. If you want to be a better trainer, communicator, or knowledge manager, make sure to hit the subscribe button below to get more videos just like this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.